Hey everyone, it's Hairyfrankfurt, and today's story time is something that I'm still kind of offended by, and it's not even really a story time. It's something that happened that I just wanted to talk about. If you're new here and you like story times or random perspectives on life things, then make sure you subscribe, because that's kind of, I guess, the summary of what I do. For those of you who have been on my channel before, you may remember a couple years back I made a video about being asexual, and then last year I made a video about not taking my antidepressants anymore, and this is all relevant, I think, possibly. I don't know. I'm really at a loss for what kind of happened here. I mentioned this in a vlog because it hurt. I don't know if it hurt. It's confusing me. I don't understand it. Some preface, some backstory, and I was tweeting about this too because I really just, human sexuality is such a bizarre thing for me because I don't have a sex drive. If you're under 18, maybe don't watch this one. It's not, I mean, I don't understand what's really happened in this situation. I tweeted about asking people how often they get attracted to other people or how often they see attractive people, because for me it's probably once or twice a month, and I think that that's probably just purely hormonal. My body's saying, oh, look, an attractive person, because honey, we got an egg ready, let's fertilize, let's, you know, evolution and shit. But beyond that, as far as the social construct of human sexuality, I don't really get involved in that, and I don't really have any desire for sex or for a relationship or for sexual relationships. It doesn't even cross my mind at all. And I think that's pretty evident with what happened in this situation, because a couple years back, when I was doing my personal training, one of my friends from my partying days got a DJing gig down on the Gold Coast. So there was one weekend where I went down there and saw him perform live. Maybe it was 2 weekends. And when I was down there, I met all of his friends, and I met a couple, actually. It was their wedding, kind of. It's hard to explain. They were going on an epic journey. I'm not even going to get into their story because it's not relevant really, but they were calling themselves husband and wife, and they were acting as husband and wife, and they were living together and traveling together and doing things together, and were husband and wife. But they were also a polyamorous relationship from what I can remember, which I have no problem with that, but I don't empathize. Like, the thing with me and human sexuality, and I'm calling it human sexuality because I see it as an intellectual concept. I intellectualize it. I can understand when I am aroused or attracted to someone once or twice a month. It's because my hormones are telling me that we're ready for ovulation. You know, like, that's I can intellectualize it, and it feels like an intellectual problem that I have. Not that it's a problem, but that's why I kind of see it as human sexuality. So with them being polyamorous, I saw that as something that I was okay with for them, whatever. I feel like I'm getting way too into this. Anyway, so the guy from that relationship and I mean, the girl as well, like, they're both lovely people, and I do love them, and they are great people who have similar interests and are on a similar spiritual journey to me, which in this video, nothing seems very spiritual. So anyway, their relationship doesn't work. He had told me while they were together that he found me cute. Again, I guess I intellectualized that and was like, okay. For me, thinking someone is cute isn't something that can be acted on. It doesn't get acted on. It's not like a prerequisite for something else, and it's not, there is no something else in my mind. He messaged me recently to say that he was in the area and he wanted to hang out and catch up. I really just thought that meant hanging out and catching up because we did have a lot in common. I thought we were friends. I honestly don't value sexual interactions. I don't understand them. They make me uncomfortable. It was one of those situations where I was expecting to have a friend come over and just hang out, and I had no problem with that. And you know, there were in the area, and I don't think they had a place to stay, so I said that they could stay here, thinking that that was like me opening up my home to a friend and offering to let them into my home. And then when he got here, it was difficult for me to explain. It was difficult for me to kind of put the uncomfortable feeling that I had with some of his physical advancements and my, but he's just a friend, this isn't gonna get any worse feelings together. It was one of those weird, like, trying to justify things moments where, you know, he greeted me with a kiss on the cheek. I wasn't really comfortable with that because I'm just not. And I was like, well, that's a friendly thing. Friends do that sometimes. And then I was on my computer and I was editing and he was standing very close, and I was sitting down and he was standing, and I just assumed that maybe he just likes being close to his friends. And then the conversation was fine. The conversation was fine. And he wasn't always on top of me. And so when he did kind of take space and kind of just continue the conversation, I was like, okay, see, it's fine. It's just friends hanging out. We're just talking about shit, you know, talking about consciousness and the cosmos and shit, like normal things. And then I did kind of wake up to myself when he got close and started to touch me. And it wasn't an inappropriate touch, but there's something about touching that you feel in something that isn't like your skin. Like you can feel the intention of touching. And I had known it the first few times. And it was at this stage that I said no. Because I was really uncomfortable, and he hadn't asked anything. We weren't even saying anything at the time, but he was touching me in a way that I was uncomfortable with. And I was hoping that him touching me in that way wasn't him working to get more out of me. I was hoping, I feel like I'm making this sound so much more dramatic than it was. But I also feel like me saying that I'm minimizing on my experience. So I said no. And then he just left. I don't know if it was in the way that I said no, but I don't know at what stage a person is to assume that their friend wants to have sex with them. And I also don't understand why someone would want to have sex with their friend. I also don't really understand where that kind of, like, I want to have sex with you conversation normally happens. And I mean, maybe there were some, you know, social intricacies in the messaging that I had missed, because social intricacies are clearly not my strong suit. The thing that hurts me about this situation is that I had opened up my home for a friend, and it feels like I've lost a friend because of the fact that they just wanted to sleep with me. And I don't know why a person would dismiss all interaction with someone when they know they just can't have sex. And it comes back to, like, intellectualizing it. I know that a guy will do anything to get sex, but I don't understand it. I don't feel it. I don't get that, because I don't get the desire to have sex. I don't feel it. I don't even see people as attractive. I don't see attractive people. And maybe I am normal. And I mean, I mustn't be that abnormal, because I know that if something exists, it has to exist. Like, it happens. It's not like a once-off. So I really kind of want to know from you guys, I don't know, like, how often does sex come up in your mind? How often do you find yourself being attracted to someone or wanting sex from someone? And in the way that I'm wording it, I can see that I obviously have some kind of distaste for sex itself, because you want sex from someone, not with someone. when it's two people having sex. So therefore it should be a mutual with. But for me, it feels like you're taking it from them. And I don't know. Yeah, sex is such a weird thing. And I don't know why a person would ever just want sex. It's really boring, basic animal pleasure. And I think that, not that I really think we're an evolved species, but being that we tell ourselves we're an evolved species, we should probably move on from basic rabbit banging, you know? I don't think that sex is really something that we should be building social structures around and working to obtain. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, because it feels like this isn't something many other people relate to. But if you do, honestly, I really want to hear from you guys. And I feel like I've rambled too much about the backstory of them, and I didn't want to include the conversation of what we were talking about, because I don't know, maybe because I've had a few people even tell me that I'm a sexual creature, that I'm a sexual person, and the only, I don't know, I don't understand it. So yeah, I denied him sex, and he just thought that I was pretty useless at that stage. And that's kind of why it still hurts, because I'm a hell of a lot more than the physical form that I've fallen into. And if anyone else is suffering from these kind of feelings as well, of being used for sex and not understanding sex, just remember that you are a hell of a lot more than the form that you fell into. And that's kind of all I can really say on the topic. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It is less of a story time and more of like a asking for advice type thing. And I do have more story times, like typical story times, to tell you guys, so make sure you're subscribed for that and hit that little bell so you get the notification so that you know when my next video goes up. But if you click one of these, that'll be my next video. Okay, bye.